Instead of renting a house, go stay for hotel.
This is the one I really disagree with this guy. And to some extent, I have an allegation against him.
Subscribe.
Today, we are reacting to the self-acclaimed best financial coach in Africa, Gehgeh, a Nigerian realtor and a content creator. According to him, he's sharing 5 financial advice that can change your life. And I want us to pay attention to them.
These 5 advice will change your life. Number 1, instead of buying a land, buy a car. You made your first money and you think I'll say between a car and a land, which one I go first buy? Go for the car 100% of the time, because a car will do you more good than a land. Land, they give what they call capital appreciation, they give cash flow, which means you can have the land and you are hungry. Capital appreciation means now your capital increase at the point of selling. Let's say, for instance, you buy the land for 1 million naira, and at the point of selling, you sell for, let's say, 2 million. Your capital only increased by 2 million naira, but you not get access to that land again. Now only your money increase. On the other hand, a car is a social asset, and because a social asset, it will help you build your relationships, and your network is your net worth. You know, understand?
So basically, this one, he makes sense. You understand? Going for a car instead of a land. And when he said, I told you this point that he has mentioned, I agree with him. Go for a car. If you're a young hustling person, like struggling African, and you just made your first money that can afford your property, go for a car, because even if you don't have anything to eat, the car can work and give you money. You understand? That one, it makes sense. But if you already have cars, you have, why would you want to go for a car instead of buying a property that you don't need to be wasting, much of your time on it? Because if you have properties already, you don't need to do that. But if this now you are coming after the Uber, it will be better for you to actually go for a car instead of what? Instead of a land. So that this why it makes sense, but not 100%. It only makes sense if you're a struggling person.
Number 2, instead of building a house, build a business. At a young age, why you dey hurry or you dey struggle to build house? Struggle to build investments and businesses so that the profit can build a house for you. You know, understand? And I tell people, say, if you use 50 million naira to build a house to live, and where you dey stay before you dey pay 500,000 naira, that 50 million naira will take build a house, so let's save you from a yearly rate of 500,000. So it's always advisable you build a business. The profit of the business go build the house for you. You know, understand?
You see, this one, I agree with him again, in the sense that if you're a young hustling person, it makes sense. Because, Charlie, a lot of people have gotten small money, but then they rush and go and buy land, go and buy, start building on the land. And now their properties are standing in the bush, uncompleted. You understand? So now they are coming to some of us who are the realtors and we are advertisers, forcing us to help them sell their properties. If the person knew, the person would have used that money to buy something that would be giving him, cash flow every single day. He'll be getting something to eat and save. So instead of actually running to go buy land and build, if you don't have any business, you are a struggling person, it will make sense, say, you will actually establish a business instead. And a business can be you buying a car and using it for business, or any other business that you want to do. That makes a lot of sense though, for only a struggling person. But for someone who has money, you don't need to go and be establishing thousands of business when you already have a business that is making money for you already. So if you don't have business, you need to actually invest in that instead of Charlie rushing to go and build. Yes, Nabutre, and Marina will be Sinubeba. Why?
Then instead of number 3, instead of renting a house, go stay for hotel. You know, understand? Instead of renting a house, go stay for hotel.
This is the one I really disagree with this guy. And to some extent, I have an allegation against him.
Renting a house in a particular location will tie you down to that particular environment, but living in a hotel will help you explore other locations. If you rent this place today, now you're not. If you rent this place now, you're not comfortable. That place you go date your rent expire, or the landlord you get sort out with landlord before you move. He will tie you down to a particular location, but because you are living in a hotel, you can easily move from one place to the other as easy as possible.
No, this one I know they make sense. This one I know they make sense. Ghana, we say they make sense. If you are talking about comfort, you are talking about comfort. If you rent a place, you can actually do it comfortable for your own self. It depends on how you want to do. When you say that it's good for you when you roam about and those things, that's the only way you can actually explain this for it to make sense. But when it comes to the financial aspect, it wouldn't make sense. Because if you are renting a hotel in Ghana here, in Ghana, a hotel a night good, conducive, nice hotel is 300 Ghana cedis. In Nigeria, that is $3,000. 3,000 naira. 3,000 naira. 30,000 naira for a night. In Nigeria, 30,000 naira for a night. So if you multiply that 30,000, in Ghana cedis, that 300 Ghana cedis. Multiply the 300 Ghana cedis by 30. That is 9,000 Ghana cedis for just 1 month. And if you multiply that 9,000 Ghana cedis times 12 for a year, that is 108,000 Ghana cedis. 108,000 Ghana cedis. In Nigeria, that is somewhere, around, let's say, 11 million. 11 million naira. 11 million naira. You are spending it on rent for just 1 year as a hustling person. How about Gehgeh? This one, I know you are giving advice to upcoming people. How can you give advice to someone who is just an upcoming? For someone who is rich, it will make sense for them to stay in a hotel. But for an upcoming person, a hustling person, how do you expect him to keep, paying 30,000 naira a night in a hotel? How? So this one there, it doesn't make sense at all. Let us see his explanation though.
It go reduce your expenses. It go reduce your expenses. Living in a hotel go save you more expenses than renting a house. You know, understand?
You see this one, he has said it to reduce your expense. How will this reduce expense? You are spending 11 million naira on rent. And you are talking about expenses. If, let's say, you are going to use that 11 million naira and then rent a place which can cost you like, I don't know your Nigeria, how much they rent. But let's say you rented an apartment for 2 million naira. Then you use the remaining 9 million naira to buy all the items you need in a room. How many years can you use those items? You can use those items for a very long time, and then you still be benefiting from it. But Gehgeh is telling you to actually go and then pour that money on what? In a hotel renting. And at the end of the 1 year, you will still get bankrupt again if you don't make money. So that is not a good advice at all. But the allegation I have against Gehgeh is that, is it because Gehgeh is trying to build more hotels? He's trying to induce people to actually start renting hotel, which helps him make a lot of money in the near future. Is that the reason? Let's continue.
Number 4, instead of going to school, learn a skill. Instead of going to school, learn a skill, because what is school they offer a certificate, but what is skill they offer and the ability to solve problem. And for you to become successful in life, you must be able to solve problem, because there's a reward for every problem you are solving, which is money. You know that. So that's why today you have a lot of people with a lot of certificates, but they're not fit solve problem. And because they're not fit solve problem, they don't have anything to offer to the society. That's the only reason why they are poor. You know, understand? So instead of struggling to go to school, maybe you finish secondary school, you not get help, you not get anybody who wants to sponsor you. You call the struggle to go that school. Go and learn a skill which will fetch you money. When you are comfortable with time, you can go back to that same school. School not the run, they leave person. You know, understand?
I think this one, it makes sense. This is the cure for African problem. If we were made to actually go acquire skills, like with some SHS, English is enough. You can read and write. If we were made to actually go acquire better skills that are beneficial in this 21st century, trust me, we would have made some good money and be able to actually take care of ourselves in schools. But look at us, we are university graduates. We can't actually solve any issue. I have friends who have degree. They have a CA, chartered accountancy. They have masters, and now they are still struggling to get job. Some have PhD, they can't actually solve any problem, so they are useless. They can't make money. So imagine someone like Gehgeh, who I don't know whether he actually have a university degree or not, earning a lot of money. And then he can actually employ you a PhD holder and be paying you a huge amount of money. I don't know in Nigeria, even if he is working as a real estate, whatever, he's making a lot of money, and he decides to pay you, 1 million naira a month, he will still not be poor. So if he is able to do this, and you a PhD holder, you can't do this for your own self. What is the benefit of that paper? So I think that the education is good, but they've overhyped the education. We actually need skill-solving problem. We have people here who have good degrees, but they have run to Accra, to Europe, to go and hustle. Why? Because the benefit of whatever they are acquired, they can't actually get a benefit, solve any problem in the country. So every day we are giving birth to degree, we are giving birth to nurses, the country is giving birth to teachers and things. No opportunities for them. We have teachers nurses who were supposed to be posted last 3 years, they are still at home. So that education, you go to school, what is the use? This one, the guy is making sense.
Then, number 5, instead of using that money to train that woman in school, use that money to marry her.
This one, I agree with you again. He said instead of using money to actually go and then help a lady in school, it can be a person is going to school and the person needs school fees. So you will be the one to be supporting. Or probably the person is learning any work and the person wants you to keep supporting her till she finishes before you marry. It will be Jimmy. Never do that thing. Never do. Use that money to marry the person. Then when you marry the person, you can now continue supporting the person. But if you can't marry the person, the person says you wait for her, for her to finish work or for her to finish her education before you marry her, it is very risky. Most men have done this and they come back crying because they have actually suffered for when the thing is now nice. Now the lady has seen a better guy, someone who is better than you, who says at the same level with you are no more her level. Then you now she will move quick and then move to that person. When you come and complain, say, how much did you spend on the person? Say it will pay you. But the time she has wasted, your time that she has wasted, she can't pay that one. Can she pay your effort? Can she pay all the sacrifices you made to actually get that money? And that specific time she needed that money that you were able to provide, can she pay that urgency? She cannot. So it will be very stupid for a young African or for a young guy to be spending on a lady's education or her whatever work she's learned. No. And Jimmy. So this guy has actually listed 9 points. Only the number 3 that I disagree with him. So I think a lot of Nigerians are just trying to say that this guy is crazy. But to me, I think he's a very intelligent and smart guy. And if you ever listen to him, you will appreciate him. And though when he says that he's the African best financial coach or financial advisor, I doubt though. Thank you very much. My name is Imoru Sadat. If this is your first time, I kindly subscribe to the channel. Bye.
Subscribe to DILIGENCE.